Hello, my name is Billie Dalton. This is my first podcast since recovering from my injuries serving in the military. I want to share an idea I created in 1997 before going to war in Iraq. I personally blended my coursework, soldier song, and music to real-world production experience and community broadcasting all in one project. It's built around veteran stories and music special topics, or anyone stories music-directed study. And the core concept is simple. As the executive producer, I would independently produce a class television program through PBS, Delta Studios. I will spearhead the first stages, then make ready for MCTV in Midland and/or Access Vision in Battle Creek, with the goal of getting it broadcast on the local TV station.
So, what would that actually look like in practice? First, this would be structured as a special topics broadcast course or a directed study, depending on what makes the most sense academically. The emphasis would be on hands-on production, planning the show, coordinating participants, conducting interviews, capturing footage, and shaping everything into a finished episode that's ready for community broadcast. Before anything gets filmed, the project starts with the necessary permissions. That means waivers and releases. Everyone involved as a participant would need to sign the required forms, and I would provide those documents. The plan includes release forms for participation as well as liability releases. Of course, those forms would be used only after they're reviewed and approved through the appropriate channel, specifically the Dalton Gang Band of Veterans Production and Music Education Department Director. Once releases are in place, the creative work begins. I'd start by taking photos, mapping out what the show needs to communicate, and writing interview scripts. And to be clear, the participants featured in the program would be selected based on who is chosen, assuming that works for you and it aligns with what the producer/director approves for the course structure. Then comes production. We'd move into digital filming, capturing interviews, gathering visuals that support the story we're telling, and building the content with an eye toward a final broadcast-ready program. This isn't just recording for the sake of recording. It's producing a coherent show with a clear beginning, middle, and end, and with professional expectations in mind. After filming is done, I would handle post-production and deliver a polished version of the program. That includes editing the content, creating an introduction, and putting together credits. For the narration or hosting, there are flexible options. You could serve as the narrator, or you could assign someone else to host. Either way, the end result would be a complete show with a purposeful structure and a finished presentation. To support this proposal, I also have a reference letter from the Access Vision contact, along with copies of the release forms that would be required for all participants. That documentation is meant to show that the broadcast partner and process are real and that the project is set up to follow standard practices for community media production. If this sounds workable, the next step would be confirming whether this fits better under soldier song and music, MUS special topics, or MUS directed study, and then determining the approval path with the producer, director, and management. From there, we can identify potential participants, confirm the release process, and start planning the first round of interviews and filming. Best wishes and Godspeed.